Hello and shalom. This is Rivkah Asoulin, founder and executive director of Ancient Roots Israel. Ancient Roots Israel is the first international herbal conference and community in Israel. Our second international conference will be this January 26th through 28th, 2021. I remind you, as always, while I show you the scenes in my yard, to uncover your hair, hike up your skirts, roll up your pants, lift up your sleeves, and make sure to expose your skin, the largest organ in your body, to the sun. 15 minutes a day is all you need to build and maintain a healthy immune system. Today, I would like to introduce you to the mighty olive tree. This may not look so mighty because this tree is only about 6 or 7 years old, but it is mighty. So let's have a look. Here we see some olives growing on the tree. Perhaps you're familiar with both black olives and green olives, but maybe you don't know that both black and green olives are the same olive. Olives start off as green and then become black when they're ripe. So green olives that you eat at the store are picked, and they have less oil in them, by the way, are picked when they are not quite ripe. But the black olives, which have way more oil, I want to say maybe 10 to 20% more, or 10 to 15% more oil, are plucked when they are actually fully ripe and black. So nope, there's not different varieties of olive. Olea. Today, there's a lot of medicinal uses. I was going to say today we're going to talk about the leaves, which we are. But I want to cover different medicinal uses besides eating the olives, which are bitter. Olives are never eaten raw, plucked off the tree. They must always be cured first. This has been used as an allegory for the Jewish people, actually. I should add it's also one of the 7 species of Israel, as a little aside. But yes, this is used as a bit of an allegory for the Jewish people, that you have this really tasty, delectable, incredible olive, but it's only usable once pressure, grinding, pressing, curing has been applied. That's what brings out that beautiful, remarkable flavor and incredible health benefits. So unfortunately, the Jewish people only get to repentance, to their ultimate goodness, through suffering and trials and tribulations, which I think anyone who lives in the land of Israel is certainly aware of. Which is also another saying about the inheritance of the land of Israel only comes through suffering. So on that happy note, we of course get delicious olives that you can eat, but we also have delicious olive oil, which is incredibly medicinal. Olive oil is used to nourish the skin, the hair, face. It's used to nourish it can be used as a lubricant, a personal lubricant as well. It's got just a ton of incredible uses, but what most people don't know about is the leaves. Ameliya, I think Enya's calling you. There's Ameliya. Ameliya is coming to learn here, and there's Enya over there. Hi, Enya. Yeah, they're not ready, so don't pick them yet. They're olives, and they're getting ripe. Okay? I think Enya wants you over there. All right, so the leaves, olive leaf is such a medicinal plant. And because this is an evergreen plant, you can pluck the olive leaves at any time. So how do we identify an olive tree without the olives? That's a good question. It's usually a hoary, kind of, knotty trunk. But as you can see, I've got, I have a baby here, really. So that's not going to be too telling. I can see an interesting thing I learned about the trunk of the olive tree is that little shoots come out. So let me see. Here, we've got some shoots right here. Okay. Here's little shoots coming out from the tree. A lot of little shoots. You see all these These are all olive shoots. Here's the main bark, or the main trunk, I'm sorry. And there's the trunk. And here's these little shoots, just tons of them coming out. Now, the original mother tree ends up dying off on the inside. Look, this one's got some, looks like it's been injured, yikes. It dies off, and so these babies start to graft themselves to the main trunk. And because of that, the inside of the trunk is always hollow. Olive trees can live for about 2,000 years. But it's very difficult to verify the exact age because of that hollow trunk. What else can we learn about that? Here's some, oh, look at that. Isn't that funny? Here's the olive, and here's the Anula viscosa growing there, saying, look, I'm just like an olive shoot. No, you're not, Anula viscosa. You smell of camphor, and you're very sticky. We've already covered you, but I think it's cute that you tried to jump in here. Look at that. Look at that. At first glance, it looks like just another shoot. Okay. So olive leaves can be ground up into a powder and eaten. A lot of times you can get pills or capsules that are ground into powders, and you can take them that way. An extract can be taken. I read something really interesting, which was you should make an extract with both alcohol, as we've talked about so many times before, but also with a bit of glycerin to extract all the properties. Olive has a distinction of being a bitter, which if you've ever tried to taste an olive without curing it, as I have, because you've all met me. Yeah, it's bitter. It's ridiculously bitter. It's so bitter that no one should ever do that. Oh, look, I just found something here. This is a prickly lettuce, I believe. And I just went and reached over, and it's got these little kind of flowers coming off. But it put some of that sticky resin on my hand. It has such a lettucey smell. I wish you could smell that. I know I'm getting off track, but that's actually this prickly lettuce is actually, oh, here we go. Can you see that? Can you see that whiteness on my pinky finger and coming from the branches, that sticky resin? That actually is really powerful pain-killing medicine. I think perhaps Leda Meredith covered a little bit about that, maybe in the Dandelion Lookalike video. There you go. Just looking at some of the interesting things growing around the olive tree. But anyway, back to the olives. So it's considered a bitter, and bitters are always great for digestion. We always think about those digestive bitters, and we could add certainly olive leaf or anything like that to any type of bitter formula to assist with digestion, or to have on its own in a powder form or a tea or an extract. But it also has a slightly sweet classification, which is interesting. You'll need to test for yourself, and I think one of the great ways to test is I'm distracted for a minute. What are you watering right now?
I'm on fig tree. It's dying.
The fig tree, right. Okay. So look, I feel like I'm taking you on a journey. My beautiful fig tree, which I mentioned in another lesson, all of a sudden just fell over. And the roots had been totally disintegrated. We have no idea what's going on. As you can see, it's full of fruit. It was actually full of leaves until a few days ago. But there's my son, Nachal. Nachal with the water, as usual. Anyway, we've tried to use some neem oil with water at the roots of the tree to see if we can help it. And then we've got it all rigged up to see if we can help it. But anyway, okay. Back to the mighty olive. Back to so many interesting plants here. You're getting like a 2-fer or a 3-fer right now. Anyway, so you need to see how you want to use the the olive tree, how it works best for you, how it feels best for you, and what you're using it for. So let me try and just give you a quick rundown of some different things. Olive leaf tea or extract, in its tea or extract form, I should say, is used as a anti-cancer, anti-HIV and AIDS, antimicrobial, anti-viral, anti-colds and flus. There's a woman who just claimed to cure her COVID-19 with, disclaimer, right? I'm not claiming this is a cure for COVID-19. I'm telling you a woman claimed that she cured her COVID-19 through olive leaf tea. It's known really well to work against herpes, all sorts of herpes. The extract is used directly on a herpes sore. But, if you've got whatever type of herpes, you can have herpes, genital herpes, you can have, the cold sore kind, all that great stuff. And you've got chicken pox and all those related things. Drinking olive leaf tea might be a choice you would want to pursue. And let me see. Digestion, we talked about that. Oh, heart, cardiovascular system. This is a biggie. We know that olive oil is great for heart health, but the olive leaf tea is also pretty amazing. It stabilizes blood sugar, or lowers blood sugar in diabetic patients. Let's see, the blood sugar, I said blood pressure. It also stabilizes and lowers blood pressure. People who are on blood pressure medications can take olive leaf tea on a daily basis. Once they've found the right amount, they may be able to phase out their blood pressure medications completely. It's important if you're on other drugs or other pharmaceuticals to continue to monitor your levels if you're trying to bring in olive leaf and phase out your pharmaceuticals. But olive leaf is one of the most gentle plants, effective but very, very gentle. It works over time. It takes some time to see results. And if you are on any of the medications that we've talked about for high blood sugar or blood pressure, or also blood thinners, you'll want to really watch it, really monitor things and watch closely with olive leaf. Outside of that, I'm not aware of any other contraindications. So opening up everything. It's not just your blood vessels and people who have high cholesterol and this kind of thing. It's really opening up on a spiritual level, opening up the heart. I think that maybe this should be up there with hawthorn, perhaps. But I haven't done enough experimenting with it myself. I can, for heart health. It is melancholic. It's a relaxer. It's a little bit of a soporific. So if you want to relax, cool down, a nice cup before bed. Again, it's mild. So, I haven't read any accounts of not being able to drive heavy machinery or something after you have a cup of this. But if you had a really intensive brew or were drinking a lot of it, you would want to keep tabs on what is your tiredness level like when you take it. But certainly in smaller doses, I haven't experienced any of that. The tea has a very oily quality. So we've talked about mucilage and that kind of, hey you guys, you're really loud over there. We've talked about mucilage, and that is not what's going on here at all. Mucilage is kind of that slimy quality that you find in any mallow plant, really, and this sort of thing. But when you make a tea, you find not slimy, but oily. It's different. And I definitely find that in my tea when I make olive leaf tea. Anytime I think of something this oily, I think of oiling the joints. So for me, that's for arthritis. Wow, that's sloshing pretty high. That's for arthritis. You might want to do it at another angle, Nachal, at another part of the tree. So it's not all on one side. Maybe get the other side with the water. Right. So I think about arthritis. I think about inflammation. I think about joints that need oiled, this sort of thing. So if anyone's arthritic or has anything that needs oiled, that needs smoothed out, even maybe in cases of constipation, again, that would fall under digestion. But, when you need that oil, if your skin is dry, if you're feeling dry, if you're drying out in the heat, this is a really beautiful way. You're not going to dry out? Yeah, because you always have water on you. So yeah, give that a shot. Check that out. Make a cup of olive leaf tea today. You can go online and look up different recipes for how to make infusions, deconcoctions, which you certainly can because these leaves are very, very tough. You might be able to get more than one brew out of them. I think I have, but it's been a long time since I've used it. There are lots of people in the region, Israelis, who feel that this is kind of just a cure-all for everything. Whatever you've got, give it a shot. Allergies as well. Can't believe I forgot about that. Great for allergies. If you've got allergies, seasonal allergies, this is something you may wish to look into further, olive leaf. And curing the olives, again, you pick them when you want to. Either right before they're ripe, when they're, plump and green. They're certainly not ready yet. They're babies right now. And some salt water, really, and there's recipes online for that as well. You can make tasty cured olives. The salt, of course, drawing the bitterness out of the olives. So I know that we don't have such a majestic tree here. It's still a baby. But, it really is an incredible tree. And we all know the story of Noach and the olive branch in the mouth of the bird that came back. The Olympic winners were crowned with olive leaf and laurel bay and other things. But anyway, olive leaf was part of that. It represents pureness and goodness and peace and happiness and joy and holiness and so many lovely things. And I think medicinally it does give you maybe peace and joy and wholeness, really, completeness, shalemness, to combine two of my languages. So anyway, enjoy the mighty olive, safe for almost all people, although some people may have an allergic reaction to it. Although from what I've read, those may be the people who need it the most, just in very, very small doses. And that may be, more of the powdered leaves, just a very small dose to help desensitize you to the tree and to allergies in general. But again, you would need to find a practitioner who's experienced in that sort of treatment. But in general, helpful for allergies as well. Enjoy.